were two artists that were traveling to Mexico, and they were going to do some painting in Mexico. And this is back before automobiles, and so they were in a wagon. It was Bert Gear Phillips and Ernest Blumenschein. And their wagon broke down outside of Taos a ways. And so one of them went to town and the other one stayed out there and thought, well, as long as I'm here, I might as well do some sketching and painting. The more he did, the more he realized that this was a special place with a special light. Here's some Taos Pueblo singers. And this guy saw this print. He says, that's me and my two friends. And I went, and he named off the names. And so, I don't know, I just felt great that he recognized himself and his friends in that pastel, because it's kind of loosely sketched. Anyway, the Taos drummers. Pastel, I think that's my strongest medium, because I'd always felt like I was a strong draftsman. You know, I'd like to draw. I could draw a lot of detail and it would be accurate, and a lot of interesting things going on in the drawing, if you say charcoal or pencil or something. And I was proficient at that, I thought, and people were enjoying it. So it was easy for me to think about drawing with color, which would be pastel. So you added the color element to the drawing style, the sketching, and so I felt comfortable doing pastel paintings. Well, I reflect my environment, I reflect my childhood, a lot of Native American imagery, a lot of Southwestern landscapes, architecture, a lot of Western characters, cowboys, and that's what I grew up in, you know, and Amarillo and here and Austin, and then of course music. There's a constant panorama of characters in the music business that constantly interacting with, going by, or working with, or whatever. But some of those characters have emerged, and so it's just a natural reflection of who I am, where I grew up. I grew up in Amarillo, Texas, just straight east of here, and we would come here for vacations to Taos and Red River, and I couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old, and I think younger when it actually started, but I can't remember that far back. But anyway, it was growing up. It was the go-to place for vacations and for great outdoor experiences and a wonderful, magical enchantment quality that a young person particularly would, you know, be inspired by and would remember. And so when I got older, I majored in art in Texas, and when it was time for me to move from Austin, and that's another story, but when it was time for me to move from Austin, I thought, well, I'm just going to go to Taos because I want to focus on art. And so I did move to Taos, and lo and behold, a couple years after I moved here, I got a call from Michael Martin Murphey wanting me to go play music on the road and stuff. And he said, well, do you want to go open for Emmylou Harris for this tour? I went, okay, where's the bus, you know? In the sky. I think the most memorable shows, for a certain handful of reasons, was going out and doing the Johnny Carson show, the Tonight Show, back when he was doing that, because I grew up watching it. And you don't sit, I thought, you don't sit in Amarillo, Texas, watching the TV, watching Johnny Carson, and then get a call one day saying, tomorrow we're going to be on Johnny Carson. It just didn't happen, you know, just didn't compute. I had to consciously sit down and rewire my appreciation of the Johnny Carson show, because from a viewer and a fan to someone who was going to be there the next day, I had very little time to prepare.
and to go on his show, and to fly out there and to see all that and experience it I didn't feel very professional. I just was awestruck, But that was very memorable. That was very memorable. I call it the heartbeat. It's the thump of the band, thump thump. It's what holds it together. It drives the band. Your dynamics that you apply to the instrument can bring the band up, can bring it down, energetically or dynamically. I love that. It's just such a vital part. Sometimes it can run pretty deep. Sometimes, and emotional. Sometimes it can get emotional. Sometimes it can get spiritual. Sometimes it can get intellectual. But sometimes it's very powerful. And like the question you asked earlier, what keeps you going? It's that as well. You tap into this. You tap into this musical realm. There's layers of music that when you're performing, the information comes to you. I don't know where it comes from, but these vibrations of musical intelligence that you can just sort of surf on, just grab them and go, And but then after the show's over, it's gone. When I moved to Taos a couple years ago, and my friend, partner, Lana Smith, and myself, she wanted to create a gallery here, and she wanted me to help her do it, and I did. But she, by far, should take most of the credit for maintaining it and arranging it. She has a great natural sense of taste and arrangement, and her selection of artists and jewelers is really good. She's really good at that, and she's good with people, and she's a very organized person. And as an artist, I'm not, just generally, But the Ranch at Taos is a source of inspiration. I think that would be the largest common denominator among everybody that lives here, the exquisite natural beauty. And if you're an artist, you love the light. Everybody I know that lives here just loves it because it's beautiful. It's as simple as that.